All right, hey everybody, and welcome to what we're going to call Week 1A in the St. Mary's EDMA 637 Isle edition. So, before we get going, I want to thank you for hanging with me on Wednesday evening. I realize that a 3-hour time frame becomes a lot, and especially some of you that are new moms and trying to take care of family and all those things, this whole thing becomes really demanding. And what it shows me is that your level of professionalism is at the top of the charts. And that is something that I look forward to over the next 6 to 7 weeks, to see that level of professionalism throughout. So thank you for hanging with me. And I understand that sometimes that stuff gets to be a lot of me talk and you listen, and sometimes it's not as much engagement as maybe we want to be. So I appreciate it. A couple things for this week. First of all, there is no formal assessment this week. Assessment 2 actually gets pushed into next week. We're going to kind of review a few things with what we talked about on Wednesday, but then we're going to push and just talk about a little bit with classroom stuff, and we're going to push the majority of, well, I should say assessment 2 into week, what we call 2. So here's what we have for this week. First of all, you're going to review and comment on your classmates' assessment number 1. So that would be the productivity assessment that is due in Google Classroom by 6 o'clock on today, Sunday night. And then I will post these to you on when you get this stuff. So I think it's a slide or two after what you're looking at right now. You will actually see your classmates' work, and then there'll be a link in Google Classroom with that work as well, and a space for you to comment on your classmates' work. So that's kind of the second part on the grading sheet for assessment number 1. We're also going to review the SAMR, I guess they call it a ladder. The SAMR piece is something that I think if we keep it kind of in the corner of our brain throughout this class, it brings more of a purpose to why we're doing what we're doing and what kind of benefit it can have for our students. So I'm going to ask you to think about your own setting. Like, what is it about SAMR that fits into who you are as a teacher and what you can bring to your students? But again, I just want you to think of this, and no matter what level you are, your goal is to push students to a new learning place and a new understanding. And so that's something that I think you can do consistently if you keep SAMR kind of in the back. So you'll get a Google Doc. It's very, very simple. It's going to ask you 3 questions about where you are with SAMR. This third piece I want you to do is really keep working on your professional learning network. Now remember, this is a choice for you. I'm not forcing you in one direction or another. I introduced Twitter to you at a little bit of a higher level because I think it's the easiest one that brings you focused learning to your subject area. One of the things I want you to do, though, is as you find things in Twitter, I would love you to retweet them, but then use the hashtag, again, the number sign, and then EDMA637IL. So just put that at the end. It's like you were commenting on a Facebook post. Just type that hashtag at the end. And what we'll find is that over time, we're going to build a group of things that we can use as resources. There's a bunch of you that are primary teachers, a bunch of you that are special education teachers, a couple of you that are in that 5th grade and above group. And I think if we can build that, I think that's great. And it also gives you an idea how you can build your team in your school system in a way where you can share ideas very, very quickly. And then kind of you can create your own hashtag. So you might call it Isle Primary or something like that. You can decide what that hashtag might be. But again, remember, one of my goals is that you're building these teams of learners at your sites, and you become tech leaders as we go. The fourth thing, and this is a new piece, we're going to look at something called the best school model for tech integration. So here, there's a slide down the way here that has a whole bunch of different little looks at things like one-to-one and BYOD and a few other things like that, and what works best. Okay, so think about your own discipline and pick articles that fit you. So you're going to see the articles, and you just have to pick a couple of them. It's pretty laid out, and then you can do just a short review and comment. It is not a long assignment at all. Just take a look at some articles, do a little bit of reading. I think it's important that you look at things that you can use. So if your system focuses more on iPad, then focus on the iPad articles. If your system is in the one-to-one piece, then focus in that. You can make those decisions. And again, what you're trying to do is come up with some ideas for your space and your area as tech leaders in your school system. What can you offer? Okay. Again, I can't stress this enough. I don't want our school systems to technology just to technology. I don't think that's an effective way to do this computer stuff. I want to make sure that you see it as a benefit, and that's a really important piece. Okay. Last thing, Britta and Ashley will be sharing their weekly technology spotlights with us by Wednesday evening. I think I have it at 9 o'clock, but if it comes in a little later than that, it's just fine. I will share those out as soon as I have them together. And then you have until Sunday as a group to review and comment on their work. Okay, so somebody emailed me about this today, and I think this is a great question. The weekly technology spotlight is actually assessment 7. So as you finish it, we're finishing up another assessment in this process. Okay, so let me quickly review. No assessment this week. Number 2 is next week. Okay, think about kind of the general picture of SAMR. Think about how you go about your professional learning, and also what you could suggest for best tech model in your system. Okay, last piece. We're getting very close to the end of our school year. There's a couple real important things that need to happen. Number 1, take care of yourself. This is such an important part of this time of the year. Take care of your family. Some of you, obviously, I think 3 of you have newborns in your existence, and that is a challenge all by itself. So I totally respect you that have young children in your system, in your household, that you have to prioritize, and that's really important. Take care of your colleagues. I think this is super important as well. Reach out to them, write them notes, write them letters, support them in any way possible. And then lastly, just really think about what your end goal is. Many of you would be watching sports right now. We don't get to do that. So maybe think about your own kids. If you're into coaching, you have a family member that's a coach, think about them as well, and reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you in any way possible? Okay. But as they say, when you get on an airplane, you can't help others. You can't put the oxygen mask on someone else until you have it on yourself. So priority number 1, take care of you. Okay. I appreciate the emails I've received this week, the phone conversations I've had from a couple of you, and the early submissions of assessment 1. This is the way you do this effectively, and this is the way we share right. So keep doing what you're doing. And again, thank you for Wednesday night. I wish you the best this week. And if you have any questions throughout the process, please reach out. I'd be happy to assist you in any way I possibly can. So take care, everybody. And again, great to meet you. I look forward to working with you in the next 6 or 7 weeks. See ya.